Have you ever been laughed at in public, interrupted mid-sentence, or made to feel small and wished you could flip the script and command respect instantly? That moment stings. But you don't have to stay silent. With Carl Jung's timeless wisdom, you can turn disrespect into your greatest strength. Welcome to Jung's Psyche Hub, where we unlock the secrets of your mind to transform your life. In this video, we're revealing 5 powerful Carl Jung-inspired strategies to command respect immediately, from mastering your body language to handling provocations with unshakable confidence. Through real-life stories and actionable exercises, you'll learn how to stand tall, protect your worth, and make others value you without losing who you are. Stick with us until the end for tools to become unstoppable. Rooted in Carl Jung's shadow work and individuation, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, and let's start this journey to own your respect. Starting now. Welcome to the first step in commanding respect, instantly owning your first impression. You've been there walking into a room, meeting someone new, or joining a group, only to feel dismissed or overlooked before you even say a word. Why does this happen? Carl Jung's concept of persona, the mask you present to the world, holds the key. Your body language, eye contact, and presence shape how others see you from the very first moment. If you shrink or seem unsure, people might assume you're not worth respecting. But when you own your persona with confidence, you set the stage for respect immediately. In this chapter, we'll explore why first impressions matter, how they tie to your shadow, and practical tools to make sure you're seen as strong, not submissive. Let's step into your power. Here's the deal. First impressions are everything. Studies show it takes just 7 seconds for someone to form an opinion about you, and that opinion sticks. If you're slouched, avoiding eye contact, or staying seated when greeting someone, you're sending signals of submission, even if you don't mean to. Carl Jung's persona explains this. It's the version of yourself you show to the world, shaped by how you carry yourself. A weak persona, like looking down during a handshake, can make others see you as less confident, less worthy of respect. But a strong persona, standing tall, locking eyes, offering a firm handshake, commands attention and sets a boundary. I'm here, and I matter. Meet Alex, a 30-year-old graphic designer who struggled with this. At a new job, Alex wanted to make a good impression, but he'd stay seated during introductions, avoid eye contact, and mumble his name. His colleagues barely noticed him, and he felt invisible in meetings. One day, a co-worker dismissed his idea with a casual, "Oh, Alex, you're too quiet for that." It stung. Alex realized his body language was screaming submission, not strength. Maybe you've been there feeling overlooked because you didn't show up with confidence. That's where Carl Jung's shadow work comes in. The shadow is the hidden part of you, holding fears like being judged or seeming too bold. For Alex, his shadow was a fear of standing out, keeping him small in those crucial first moments. Carl Jung taught that owning your persona means embracing your full self, including the strength in your shadow. When you avoid eye contact or shrink your presence, you're letting that shadow fear of judgment control you. But when you stand tall and meet someone's gaze, you're telling the world, I'm not afraid to be seen. This isn't about faking it. It's about aligning your outer self with your inner worth. Alex learned this, and it changed everything. He started standing up to greet people, offering a firm handshake and holding eye contact. Suddenly, his colleagues paid attention, and his ideas got heard. First impressions aren't just moments, they're opportunities to command respect. So, how do you own your first impression? The first step is mastering your body language. Carl Jung's persona is like a stage performance. You choose how to present yourself. When meeting someone, stand up. Even if you're already seated, offer a firm handshake, not a limp one, and keep your shoulders back. Most importantly, lock eyes. Eye contact signals confidence and equality, not submission. Studies show that people who maintain eye contact are perceived as more trustworthy and assertive. Alex practiced this, and it shifted how his team saw him. He wasn't louder or pushier, he was just present. Here's a practical exercise to try the power pose practice. Every morning, stand in front of a mirror for 2 minutes. Practice standing tall, shoulders back, chin up. Look yourself in the eyes and say, "I am worthy of respect." Then, practice a firm handshake. Imagine meeting someone new. Do this daily for a week. And notice how it feels to carry yourself with confidence. Alex did this, and it helped him walk into meetings with a new sense of strength. You can, too. This exercise, rooted in Carl Jung's persona, rewires how you present yourself, making respect a natural response. Another key is to prepare your mindset before key moments. Carl Jung's shadow work teaches that confidence starts within. If you're nervous about meeting someone new, your shadow fear of judgment might make you shrink. Before a big introduction, take a deep breath and remind yourself, my worth isn't up for debate. Visualize yourself standing tall, shaking hands, and holding eye contact. Alex started doing this before client meetings, picturing himself as confident and valued. It wasn't just physical, it was a mental shift that made his persona shine. Let's make this real for you. Think about a time you felt dismissed in a first meeting. Maybe you stayed seated, looked away, or felt too shy to speak up. Notice how it made you feel small or ignored. Now, try this. Stand up, take a deep breath, and say, "I choose to be seen." Picture yourself walking into a room, standing tall, and locking eyes with someone new. This shift, inspired by Carl Jung's persona, changes how others perceive you. Alex learned this, and his colleagues stopped overlooking him because he stopped hiding. One more tool: celebrate your wins. Carl Jung's shadow work is about embracing your strengths, like the courage to show up confidently. After a successful first impression, like a handshake that feels strong or eye contact that holds, write it down. Note how it felt to be seen and respected. Alex started journaling these moments. Like when a client complimented his confidence, it reinforced his new persona, making it easier each time. Try this after your next introduction. Write down one thing you did well. Did you stand tall? Hold eye contact? That's your shadow integrating, showing you've always had this power. Here's the bottom line. Owning your first impression sets the stage for respect. Carl Jung's persona and shadow work teach us that how you present yourself shapes how others treat you. By standing tall, locking eyes, and embracing your worth, you command attention from the start. Alex went from invisible to undeniable. And you can, too. So, here's your challenge for this chapter. Try the power pose practice. Spend 2 minutes daily practicing your confident stance and eye contact. You're not just making an impression, you're commanding respect. Stay with us, because in the next chapter, we'll explore how to stop interruptions with unshakable confidence. Let's keep going. Welcome to the second step in commanding respect, instantly stopping interruptions with confidence. You've been there pouring your heart into a conversation or presentation, only to be cut off mid-sentence, leaving you feeling dismissed or small. Why does this happen? Carl Jung's concept of shadow work reveals that interruptions often stem from others testing your boundaries or you not asserting them. By facing your shadow, the fear of seeming too bold, you can reclaim your voice and demand respect. In this chapter, we'll explore why interruptions happen, how they tie to your persona, and practical tools to handle them with unshakable confidence. Let's take back your power. Here's the truth. Interruptions aren't just rude, they're a power play. When someone cuts you off, they're often trying to dominate the conversation or assert their status, consciously or not. Psychologists call this a microaggression, a subtle way to undermine your presence. If you let it slide, you signal that your voice doesn't matter. Carl Jung's persona, the face you show the world, plays a role here. If your persona seems hesitant or passive, others may feel free to interrupt. But when you project confidence through your persona, you set a boundary. My voice deserves to be heard. That's where shadow work comes in, helping you confront the fears that keep you quiet. Meet Mia, a 29-year-old project manager who faced this challenge during team meetings. Mia's ideas were often interrupted by a colleague who'd talk over her, leaving her feeling invisible. Once, while pitching a new strategy, a coworker cut in with, "Let's move on. That's not important." It stung. Mia felt her confidence crumble, wondering why her voice wasn't valued. Maybe you've been there, silenced in a group, unsure how to respond without seeming aggressive. Carl Jung's shadow work explains why Mia's shadow held a fear of confrontation, making her hesitate to assert herself. By staying quiet, she let others define her worth. Carl Jung taught that shadow work is about facing those hidden fears, like being seen as too much to embrace your strength. When you're interrupted, your shadow might whisper, "Don't make a scene." But staying silent only reinforces the cycle. Instead, asserting yourself aligns your persona with your inner power, showing others you're not invisible. Mia learned this, and it changed how her team saw her. She started responding to interruptions with a calm, firm look and a simple, "Can I finish?" Suddenly, her colleagues listened. She didn't need to yell, she just needed to own her space. So, how do you stop interruptions with confidence? The first step is to use your body language to assert your presence. Carl Jung's persona is about how you project yourself. When someone interrupts, pause, stand or sit up straight, and look them in the eye. A steady gaze signals, "I'm not done." Studies show that direct eye contact conveys authority and discourages further interruptions. Then, calmly say something like, "Can I continue?" or "I'd like to finish my thought." This isn't aggressive, it's assertive. Showing your voice matters. Mia practiced this, and it shifted the dynamic in her meetings. Her colleagues stopped cutting her off because she stopped letting them. Here's a practical exercise to try the assertion pause. Next time you're in a conversation, practice pausing when interrupted. Take a deep breath, look the person in the eye, and say, "I'm not finished." Practice this in a low-stakes setting like a casual chat with friends before using it in a meeting. Write down how it feels in a journal. Did you feel stronger, more respected? This exercise, rooted in Carl Jung's shadow work, helps you face the fear of confrontation. Mia tried it, and after a few tries, her confidence soared. She wasn't just stopping interruptions, she was commanding respect. Another key is to prepare your mindset. Carl Jung's shadow work teaches that confidence comes from within. Before a big conversation or meeting, remind yourself, "My voice is valuable." If your shadow fear of seeming pushy creeps in, counter it by visualizing yourself speaking with clarity and authority. Mia started doing this before meetings, picturing herself holding the room's attention. It wasn't just about words, it was about believing she deserved to be heard. This mental shift strengthened her persona, making interruptions less freak. Let's make this real for you. Think about a time you were interrupted, maybe in a meeting, a family dinner, or a group chat, and felt your voice didn't matter. Notice how it made you shrink or doubt yourself. Now, try this. Take a deep breath and say, "My voice deserves respect." Picture yourself pausing, looking the interrupter in the eye, and saying, "Let me finish." This shift, inspired by Carl Jung's persona, shows others you're not invisible. Mia learned this, and her team started valuing her input because she valued it first. One more tool: celebrate your assertiveness. Carl Jung believed shadow work means embracing your strengths, like the courage to speak up. After you stop an interruption, write down how it felt. Did you feel empowered? Mia started journaling these wins, like when she calmly stopped a colleague mid-interruption and felt in control. It reinforced her confidence, making it easier each time. Try this after your next assertive moment. Note one positive outcome. Maybe you felt stronger or noticed others listening. That's your shadow integrating, proving you've got this. Here's the bottom line: interruptions test your boundaries, but you can stop them with confidence. Carl Jung's shadow work and persona teach us that by asserting your voice, you command respect instantly. Mia went from silence to unstoppable, and you can, too. So, here's your challenge for this chapter. Try the assertion pause. Practice pausing and saying, "I'm not finished." In a conversation this week, you're not just stopping interruptions, you're owning your power. Stay with us, because in the next chapter, we'll explore how to neutralize hurtful jokes with unshakable strength. Let's keep going. Welcome to the third step, in commanding respect instantly, neutralizing hurtful jokes. You've been there in a group of friends or colleagues. Someone makes a sarcastic jab that stings, leaving you embarrassed or small. Instead of laughing it off or shrinking, you can turn the moment around and command respect. Carl Jung's concept of individuation, becoming your true, authentic self, shows you how. By staying calm and redirecting the situation, you align your persona with your inner strength, showing others you're unshakable. In this chapter, we'll explore why hurtful jokes happen, how they tie to your shadow, and practical tools to flip the script and earn respect. Let's reclaim your power. Here's the reality: hurtful jokes aren't always about humor. They're often a subtle power grab. When someone makes a jab at your expense, they're testing your boundaries or trying to elevate themselves by putting you down. Psychologists call this a social dominance tactic, common in groups where people compete for status. If you react emotionally or stay silent, you signal that their jab landed, giving them control. Carl Jung's persona, the face you show the world, plays a key role here. A weak persona, like laughing nervously or avoiding the moment, invites more jabs. But a strong persona, rooted in individuation, lets you stay calm and redirect the situation, showing you're not a target. Meet Sam, a 26-year-old teacher who faced this challenge at a friend's gathering. A colleague made a snarky comment about Sam's quiet nature. "Oh, Sam." Still too shy to talk, the group laughed. But Sam felt humiliated, his confidence crumbling. He wanted to fire back but froze, worried he'd seem petty. Maybe you've been there, stung by a joke that felt personal, unsure how to respond without escalating. Carl Jung's shadow work explains why Sam's shadow held a fear of seeming weak or confrontational, keeping him silent. By not responding, he let the moment define him, reinforcing the group's perception that he was an easy target. Carl Jung's Individuation teaches that your true self shines when you face your shadow, like the fear of standing out or seeming too much. Neutralizing a hurtful joke isn't about fighting back. It's about owning your persona with confidence. Instead of reacting emotionally, you can redirect the moment to show strength. Sam learned this, and it changed everything. The next time a friend made a jab, he smiled calmly and said, "Sorry, I missed that. Could you repeat it?" The friend fumbled. The joke fell flat, and Sam stayed in control. He didn't lash out, he just showed he wasn't fazed. So, how do you neutralize hurtful jokes? The first step is to stay calm and deflect. Carl Jung's Individuation is about aligning your outer persona with your inner strength. When someone makes a jab, don't react immediately. Pause. Take a deep breath and smile lightly. It signals you're unfazed. Then, ask them to repeat the joke. "Sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you say it again?" This puts the joker on the spot. Studies show that repeating a joke reduces its impact, as the humor relies on surprise. By asking for a repeat, you flip the dynamic, making them feel awkward while you stay composed. Sam tried this, and it worked. His friends stopped targeting him because he showed he wasn't an easy mark. Here's a practical exercise to try the deflection practice. Next time you're in a safe setting, like with friends, practice responding to a light tease. Pause, smile, and say, "Wait, what was that again?" Notice how it feels to stay calm and in control. Write down the interaction in a journal. Did the other person back off? Did you feel stronger? This exercise, rooted in Carl Jung's Individuation, builds your ability to redirect without conflict. Sam practiced this in low-stakes moments, like casual chats, and it prepared him for bigger settings. You can, too. It's about owning your reaction. Another key is to reframe the moment mentally. Carl Jung's shadow work teaches that your response comes from within. If a joke triggers insecurity, that's your shadow fear of being seen as less speaking. Before a social event, remind yourself, "I'm enough," and no joke can change that. Visualize yourself, smiling and deflecting with ease. Sam started doing this before gatherings, picturing himself staying calm, no matter what was said. This mindset strengthened his persona, making jabs less personal and easier to handle. Let's make this real for you. Think about a time a joke made you feel small, maybe a friend's sarcasm or a colleague's jab in a meeting. Notice how it made you doubt yourself or want to hide. Now, try this. Take a deep breath and say, "My worth isn't up for debate." Picture yourself pausing, smiling, and saying, "Could you repeat that?" This shift, inspired by Carl Jung's Individuation, shows you're not shaken. Sam learned this, and his friends stopped joking at his expense because he stopped letting it land. One more tool. Celebrate your deflection wins. Carl Jung believed shadow work means embracing your ability to stay strong. After you neutralize a joke, write down how it felt. Did you feel empowered? In control? Sam started journaling these moments. Like when he deflected a jab and felt confident, it reinforced his persona, making it easier to stay calm next time. Try this after your next deflection. Note one positive outcome. Maybe the group respected you more, or you felt unshakable. That's your shadow integrating, showing your inner strength. Here's the bottom line. Hurtful jokes test your boundaries, but you can neutralize them with confidence. Carl Jung's Individuation and persona teach us that by staying calm and redirecting, you command respect instantly. Sam went from humiliated to unshakable, and you can 2. So, here's your challenge for this chapter. Try the deflection practice. Practice saying, "Wait, what was that again?" in a low-stakes moment this week. You're not just deflecting a joke, you're owning your power. Stay with us, because in the next chapter, we'll explore how to diffuse provocation with ease. Let's keep going. Welcome to the 4th step, in commanding respect instantly, diffusing provocation with ease. You've been there. Someone tries to rile you up, maybe with a snarky comment or a deliberate jab, pushing your buttons to throw you off balance. Instead of reacting or losing your cool, you can stay in control and earn respect. Carl Jung's concept of persona, the face you show the world, teaches us how to redirect these moments with calm confidence. By aligning your persona with your inner strength, you can diffuse tension without a fight. In this chapter, we'll explore why provocations happen, how they tie to your shadow, and practical tools to handle them like a pro. Let's own your power. Here's the reality. Provocations are often less about you and more about the other person's need for control. When someone tries to provoke you, say, with a passive-aggressive remark or a challenge, they're testing your emotional boundaries, hoping to get a reaction. Psychologists call this an emotional hijack. They want you to lose your composure so they can feel superior. If you take the bait, you hand them the power. Carl Jung's persona explains how you can counter this. Your persona is the way you present yourself, and a strong one. Calm, confident, unshaken disarms their attempt by staying composed. You show you're not playing their game. Meet Lily, a 34-year-old marketing analyst who faced this challenge during a team meeting. A co-worker, frustrated by a project delay, snapped, "Lily, why can't you ever keep up?" The jab was personal, meant to embarrass her in front of the team. Lily felt her face flush, tempted to snap back or shrink in her seat. Maybe you've been there, hit with a comment that feels like a punch, unsure how to respond without escalating. Carl Jung's shadow work sheds light on this. Lily's shadow held a fear of seeming weak or making a scene, keeping her stuck between silence and anger. By reacting emotionally, she'd give her co-worker the upper hand. Carl Jung's shadow work teaches that provocations trigger your shadow, the hidden fears of losing control or being seen as less. Diffusing them means facing that shadow and choosing a response that aligns with your strength. Instead of arguing, you can redirect the moment with ease. Lily learned this, and it changed the dynamic. The next time her co-worker jabbed, she smiled and said, "By the way, have you tried the new coffee shop nearby?" The off-topic question threw her co-worker off, diffusing the tension. Lily stayed calm, and the team noticed her confidence. She didn't fight. She won by staying in control. So, how do you diffuse provocation with ease? The first step is to redirect with an unexpected response. Carl Jung's persona is about presenting yourself deliberately when someone provokes you. Don't engage directly. Pause. Take a deep breath and ask something unrelated. Like, "Hey, do you know a good place for lunch around here?" Studies show that breaking the conversational flow disrupts the aggressor's momentum, leaving them unsure how to proceed. The key is to sound natural, not sarcastic. Lily practiced this, asking off-topic questions with a calm smile, and it stopped her co-workers' jabs. It wasn't about avoiding the issue. It was about showing she wasn't rattled. Here's a practical exercise to try the deflection question. Pick 3 neutral, off-topic questions you could ask in a heated moment. Like, "Have you seen any good movies lately?" or "What's the weather like this weekend?" Practice saying them in a mirror with a calm tone. Then, try one in a low-stakes situation. Like a minor disagreement with a friend, write down how it felt in a journal. Did it shift the mood? Did you feel in control? This exercise, rooted in Carl Jung's persona, builds your ability to stay composed under pressure. Lily used it, and it helped her handle provocations without losing her cool. You can, too. Another key is to anchor your mindset. Carl Jung's shadow work teaches that staying calm starts within. Before a situation where provocation might happen, like a tense meeting, remind yourself, I control my response. If your shadow fear of looking weak creeps in, counter it by visualizing yourself, redirecting with ease. Lily started doing this before meetings, picturing herself smiling and asking an off-topic question, no matter the jab. This mindset strengthened her persona, making provocations feel less personal and easier to handle. Let's make this real for you. Think about a time someone provoked you, maybe a coworker's snarky comment or a friend's passive-aggressive jab. Notice how it made you want to fight back or retreat. Now, try this. Take a deep breath and say, I chose my power. Picture yourself pausing, smiling, and asking, have you tried that new cafe yet? This shift, inspired by Carl Jung's persona, shows you're unshaken. Lily learned this, and her team respected her more because she stayed in control. One more tool: celebrate your deflections. Carl Jung believed shadow work means embracing your ability to stay strong. After you diffuse a provocation, write down how it felt. Did you feel empowered? Untouchable? Lily started journaling these wins, like when she redirected her coworker's jab and felt confident. It reinforced her persona, making it easier each time. Try this after your next deflection. Note: one positive outcome. Maybe the tension eased, or you felt stronger. That's your shadow integrating, proving your inner strength. Here's the bottom line: provocations test your emotional boundaries, but you can diffuse them with ease. Carl Jung's persona and shadow work teach us that by redirecting with calm confidence, you command respect instantly. Lily went from rattled to unstoppable, and you can, too. So, here's your challenge for this chapter. Try the deflection question. Pick 3 off-topic questions and practice one in a low-stakes moment this week. You're not just diffusing tension, you're owning your power. Stay with us, because in the next chapter, we'll explore how to walk away with strength when respect isn't given. Let's keep going. Welcome to the final step in commanding respect, instantly walking away with strength. You've been there, stuck in a group, a job, or a relationship where no matter how hard you try, your worth is ignored or disrespected. It's draining, and it hurts. But here's the truth: you don't have to stay. Carl Jung's concept of individuation, becoming your true, authentic self, shows that walking away from toxic environments isn't defeat, it's power. By choosing to leave, you align your persona with your inner value, commanding respect from yourself and others. In this chapter, we'll explore why walking away is a strength, how it ties to your shadow, and practical tools to do it with confidence. Let's step into your power. Here's the core idea: staying in a place where you're disrespected doesn't prove your strength, it erodes it. When people consistently dismiss your value, whether it's a friend who belittles you or a workplace that overlooks your contributions, they're not just disrespecting you, they're challenging your self-worth. Psychologists call this a toxic dynamic, where your presence is taken for granted. If you stay, you risk internalizing their view, letting it define you. Carl Jung's Individuation teaches that your true self thrives when you honor your worth. Walking away isn't giving up, it's choosing to be an appreciated absence rather than a devalued presence. Meet James, a 32-year-old software engineer who lived this struggle. At his company, James poured his heart into projects, but his manager constantly criticized him, dismissing his ideas in meetings. Colleagues followed suit, treating him as invisible. One day, a coworker said, "James, your ideas are fine, but they're not game changers." It hit hard. James felt trapped, wondering if he should keep trying to prove himself. Maybe you've been there, staying in a place that makes you feel small, hoping things will change. Carl Jung's shadow work explains why James's shadow held a fear of failure and rejection, making him cling to an environment that didn't value him. By staying, he let their disrespect shape his self-image. Carl Jung's Individuation teaches that walking away is a powerful act of self-respect. Your shadow fears of being alone or seeming weak might urge you to stay, whispering, "You need them." But choosing yourself over a toxic environment aligns your persona with your true worth. James learned this, and it transformed his life. He started looking for new opportunities and, after a tough but empowering decision, left his job for a company that valued his skills. His old team was stunned. Realizing his absence left a gap, James didn't just walk away. He walked toward a life where respect was mutual. So, how do you walk away with strength? The first step is to recognize when you're not valued. Carl Jung's shadow work helps you face the fear of leaving. Ask yourself, do these people respect my contributions? If the answer is no, it's time to consider moving on. This doesn't always mean quitting a job or ending a friendship. It could mean setting boundaries, like spending less time with people who dismiss you. James did this by limiting non-essential interactions with his critical manager while quietly job hunting. It gave him space to rebuild his confidence. Studies show that distancing yourself from toxic environments boosts mental health and self-esteem, paving the way for respect. Here's a practical exercise to try the value check. Grab a notebook and list 3 environments or relationships in your life: a workplace, a friend group, a family dynamic. For each, write down, do they value me? Be honest. If one feels draining or disrespectful, note one step you can take to distance yourself, like declining an invitation or exploring new opportunities. Try this step this week and journal how it feels. This exercise, rooted in Carl Jung's Individuation, helps you prioritize spaces that honor your worth. James used it to realize his job wasn't worth his energy, and it gave him the courage to leave. You can, too. Another key is to prepare mentally for the leap. Carl Jung's shadow work teaches that walking away requires facing fears of uncertainty. Before making a change, remind yourself, I deserve respect, and I'll find it elsewhere. Visualize yourself thriving in a new environment, maybe a job where your ideas are heard or a group that celebrates you. James did this, picturing himself at a company that valued him. It wasn't just wishful thinking, it strengthened his resolve to act. This mindset aligns your persona with your inner strength, making walking away feel empowering, not scary. Let's make this real for you. Think about a time you stayed in a disrespectful situation, maybe a friend group that mocked you, or a job that ignored your efforts. Notice how it drained your confidence or made you question your worth. Now, try this. Take a deep breath and say, I choose my value. Picture yourself walking away, maybe declining a toxic invitation or exploring a new job. This shift, inspired by Carl Jung's Individuation, shows you're not stuck. James learned this, and his departure earned him respect, because he respected himself first. One more tool: celebrate your boundaries. Carl Jung believed shadow work means embracing your courage to choose yourself. After taking a step to walk away, like saying no to a draining event, write down how it felt. Did you feel free, Stronger James journaled his decision to leave, noting how it felt to prioritize himself. It reinforced his persona, making future boundaries easier. Try this after setting a boundary. Note one positive outcome. Maybe you felt lighter or found a better opportunity. That's your shadow, integrating, proving your strength. Here's the bottom line. Walking away from disrespect is a powerful act of self-respect. Carl Jung's individuation and shadow work teach us that by choosing yourself, you command respect instantly. James went from invisible to unstoppable, and you can, too. So, here's your challenge for this chapter. Try the value check. List 3 environments. Identify one that doesn't value you, and take one step to distance yourself this week. You're not just walking away, you're walking toward your worth. Stay with us, because in the next part, we'll wrap up with a powerful conclusion to tie it all together. Let's keep going. You've just unlocked 5 powerful strategies to command respect instantly, guided by Carl Jung's timeless wisdom. Let's recap. You've learned how to own your first impression with a confident persona, stop interruptions with unshakable assertiveness, neutralize hurtful jokes with calm strength, defuse provocations with effortless control, and walk away from disrespect with the power of individuation. These aren't just tactics. They're a path to becoming your true, authentic self. Someone who's respected because you respect yourself first. No one can take that away from you. You're not here to be dismissed or belittled. You're here to shine as the unstoppable force you were always meant to be. Here's the truth. Respect starts with you. By aligning your persona with your inner strength and facing your shadow, you tell the world, I am enough. So, take these tools and make them yours. Start with one step, whether it's the power pose practice, Pause, deflection practice, deflection question, or value check, and watch how people respond when you own your worth. Which strategy will you try first? Drop a comment below and share your story. We want to hear how you're commanding respect. If this video sparked a shift in you, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, and share it with someone who needs to stand tall. Join Jung Psyche Hub for more transformative insights to unlock your inner power. This is just the beginning. At Jung Psyche Hub, we're here to guide you on your journey to self-discovery and unshakable confidence. Your worth is non-negotiable. Own it, live it, and command it. Let's become unstoppable together. See you in the next video.